I myself have seen people getting promoted with Saturn transiting their 10th house, and it's usually the people who really deserve that. Hello Cancer Rising and welcome to my new video. If you are new to my channel, my name is Alexandra and I'm a professional ESAR certified astrologer. Today we're talking about a big shift. Saturn, the planet of discipline, time, structure and karmic lessons, has entered the sign of Aries and your 10th house in May 2025, and it will stay there until April 2028. The 10th house is one of the most prominent houses in the birth chart, and Saturn's impact is super strong here. So, what can you expect? The 10th house is your career, your goals, ambition, your boss, authority figures. It's one of your parents. In a male horoscope, it's the father. In a female horoscope, it's the mother. It's also your reputation and your social status. How will Saturn impact all of these areas? Let's start with career. Believe it or not, you might get promoted, which is a great thing. People usually fear Saturn because of its cold and strict and restrictive nature, but it can actually bring a lot of great and long-lasting things into your life. Of course, if you are responsible, correct, and hardworking. Saturn loves rules, discipline, and doing everything the right way. So if you have been such at work over the past years, Saturn can reward you with a new, higher position. And I myself have seen people getting promoted with Saturn transiting their 10th house, and it's usually the people who really deserve that. Why does this make sense? Because Saturn is the natural ruler of the 10th house, together with Capricorn, of course, which represents status, reputation, control, hierarchy, and organization. And Saturn loves being in this house because it feels like home. It's Saturn's natural habitat, and it can really bring you the best of everything it has to offer. Promotion at work brings more responsibilities and sometimes more duties, and this is all Saturnian energy. So on one hand, you are getting rewarded for your hard work and discipline because Saturn loves to reward those who deserve it. But on the other hand, by promoting you, it will also put a little bit of its heavy energy on your back by adding you more responsibilities and duties. So again, you will have to pass that test, right? Saturn is the planet of tests. And the higher you climb the corporate ladder, the higher becomes the level of your responsibilities. And also, another important thing that we need to take into consideration here is the fact that Saturn will be transiting your 10th house in the sign of Aries. We need to take Aries into consideration as well. Aries carries a strong cardinal energy. It's a fire sign ruled by Mars, and it's the fastest one. Aries is an initiator, a pioneer, and the sign that represents new beginnings. So with Saturn here, with Saturn that rules time, you might start new, long-lasting chapter in your career. So with Aries, you're starting something new, but with Saturn, you're building a strong foundation for it. You're setting long-term goals. You are working on its structure, you are approaching your goals more seriously. Aries is the sign of Saturn's fall as well, and that's because Saturn represents time and patience, and then we have Aries, that's the fastest sign and the most impatient one. Aries people don't like waiting, which is Saturnian energy. They want everything here and now. And when we put that into the context of career and the 10th house, maybe some of you are like that in your career, and you might be easy in starting something, but then it's hard to maintain it over time, which is Saturn in its fall. So the next 2-3 years are a great opportunity to pause for a second and think about what makes sense in the long run. So Saturn wants to teach you consistency in the context of your career and goals. If you're starting something new in your career, just do it with a strong sense of responsibility and, check in which direction your goals are going, and where do you see yourself after a specific number of years. So take into consideration the time factor. Aries is also the sign that exalts the sun, and it loves competition, it loves winning, and sometimes it loves putting its needs in the first place. So it's like it's all about me. Saturn in the 10th will want you to rethink this when it comes to your ambition and embrace a more mature and less impulsive approach. Aries is a very competitive sign. Aries loves setting goals and going for them, but sometimes it can come with disregarding other people's needs. So with Saturn, you will have the opportunity to add a little bit of responsibility into your approach. The 10th house is also your manager. It's your boss and any type of authority figures in your life. With transiting Saturn here, the atmosphere can change a bit when it comes to your relationship with your boss. They might become more demanding, or they might put more pressure on you, more duties, more responsibilities, and this can be tough and pretty tiring at times. However, this can also be an opportunity to develop new skills and gain valuable experience by accepting all those duties and tasks. When you accept the circumstances, Saturn praises you with wisdom, maturity, and experience you benefit from later in life. So if you want to pass Saturn's transit more smoothly, acceptance is key. As I mentioned, the 10th house represents one of your parents. So if you're a man, it's your father. If you're a woman, it's your mother. There might be some circumstances around one of your parents. If they are older, for example, you might have to take care of them. So Saturn is requiring you to take that responsibility. And this can also be a testing time in terms of your relationships with one of your parents, but it depends on your birth chart. If there are any unsolved issues, Saturn might bring that to surface and push you to deal with it. And the 10th house is also your reputation. So you might adopt a more serious approach to life. Remember, this is an angular house, the most visible one. So whichever planet transits it, its impact becomes strong. With Saturn, people start perceiving you as a more serious and more mature person. They might even tell you that you have changed, and you might start caring about your reputation more. So you might approach life more seriously, or you might approach your career more seriously. Also with Saturn here, you might even become more ambitious, more goal-oriented. So these are some of the main things that this transit can bring you. And yeah, thank you so much, Cancer Rising. If you found this video useful and inspiring, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a new upload. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.